What's up guys, so I'm testing out the Osmo Pocket 3 and what better place to test it than Osaka, Japan. And I'm gonna be testing this out in a real world situation and let you guys know if this camera is worth picking up. So I came to Japan about 1.5 years ago, and one of the things that was really overwhelming was all of the gear that I brought with me. I just felt like I was just carrying too much. The beautiful thing about the Pocket 3 is that it literally fits in the pocket, and that's where I've been keeping it, in my back pocket. I just flip this and it turns on. It just makes it so much more convenient. Now, one of the things about shooting with the Osmo Pocket 3 is that it's a fixed focal length and it's also a fixed aperture, which means that you don't really have a lot of creative control when it comes to like putting on a different lens. Now, there are companies, I believe Freewell is one of them, that actually have magnetic attachments, so you can go with like a wide angle or even a macro lens. Now, in terms of ND, you don't really have to use it. Their auto exposure works really well. However, I do have the Polar Pro, and what I like about it is that it lets me control my shutter speed, which gives me more of a cinematic look. Now, the Osmo Pocket is pretty tiny, and it does come with this little attachment that elongates it, and it makes it much more comfortable to hold. It also adds a 1/4-20 mount, so if you plan to add any additional accessories, you're able to do that. And also, if you want to charge it, it does give you a little USB-C port on the back. Now, I've been using this for about like half of the day, and I'm down to 45% battery life. They do sell an extended battery pack, which I recommend if you do plan to film all day, and it also gives you that extra length to make it easier to hold. All right guys, so one of the benefits of using the Osmo Pocket 3 is that you can flip the gimbal so that you can vlog, which I'm not a vlogger, but it does make it useful. In fact, I've got my buddy Cam over here. Now, you've used the Osmo Pocket 3, right?
A bunch.
A bunch. So you tell me, or tell our audience what your thoughts are in comparison to using like an iPhone.
So I low-key kind of like the quality coming out of the iPhone Apple log, but there's a lot of instances where I'm not gonna leave this out to shoot BTS on a tripod by itself. There's a lot, like I've been using it for this whole trip and I'm loving using the setup, but when I get a text and I gotta check emails, gotta check directions, we're going on and off the train here and I have to use my phone. Obviously, you know, you don't have to use this whole setup, but there's a lot of instances, again, where I'm not gonna dedicate my phone to be a camera, where this thing, it can track you, the wireless mic connects just easily. It's just, this is made for what we're using it for right now, and it's a built-in gimbal.
Yeah, speaking of the wireless mic, so right now I'm using the DJI mic, and it's all part of their ecosystem. It pairs through Bluetooth. It works really well. Yeah, but also you're doing a video on the anamorphic lenses from Freewell on the iPhone. So if you guys want to check that out, check the first link down below in the description. So when you're using your phone, obviously if you want to film horizontal, you have to hold it this way, which can be uncomfortable. When you film horizontal, you film this way. The beauty of using the Osmo Pocket 3 to film is that it doesn't matter if you're filming horizontal or vertical. All you do is literally flip the display, I can hit continue, and now I'm filming vertical content. So the positioning is gonna stay the same, and it's just gonna be very comfortable to use. Now, in terms of media, this does take a micro SD card. I'm using a 128 gigabyte card, and it gets me about a little over 3 hours of record time, which isn't bad. And considering the price of media for a micro SD card, it's actually a pretty decent value. Now, one of the cool things about the Osmo Pocket 3 is that it's not just a gimbal. Essentially, you have like a cameraman. We're using active track. So a lot of the cool technology that you see on the DJI Ronin 4D, also on their gimbals, is transferred over to the Osmo Pocket 3, which is really neat because no matter where I go, the camera's gonna track me. And that's actually something that's really fun and interesting because as a solo shooter, you're able to get all these really dynamic movements that you normally couldn't get with just like a phone. Stop following me. I want to quickly show you how easy their menu system is. So check this out. So if I just swipe up here, I can quickly change my resolution or even my frame rate. So this goes up to 4K 60. And then once I do that, I just swipe down. Now, if I want to change over to my, for example, my controls, I do have everything in Pro mode. So it does have a Pro mode that allows you to adjust your white balance. I can set it to auto white balance, and I like the fact that it's telling me right now that it's 5,700 Kelvin. If I go to manual, it locks it, and I can just confirm that. I am shooting in D-Log, which is like their log profile. I don't have to. I can go back to like normal profile. And as you can see here, that looks pretty damn cool. So again, very easy to use. And of course, I can also do this in auto exposure. So if I leave it in auto, it'll automatically adjust the exposure and I don't really have to do anything or worry about changing any settings. Pretty damn cool. So after using the Osmo Pocket now for a couple of days, I will say I love this little camera for content creation. The ease of use, the menu system, it's just so simple. In fact, I can hand this over to my wife who doesn't really know a lot about filmmaking and she can quickly learn and be able to use this camera. Also, if you're using already like a pro level camera, kind of like the one we're using right now, the FX3, this is still a really nice tool to have because there's so many things that you can do with this that would normally require you to rig up a camera like this. And just the form factor and the convenience makes the Osmo Pocket 3 a win for me. Now, if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment down below. I will be here in Japan for a couple more days. Also, I do plan to make more videos on this. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Sayonara.